struggle with quiet moments alone when you immediately start wondering if you forgot to send that important email or whether you remembered to text a friend back? Do you worry whether you've dealt with a situation correctly or concerned yourself with the thought that your friends all secretly hate you? Overthinking and worrying are part of the human experience, but left unchecked, they can destroy your mental health or leave you feeling isolated from those you love. Hello everyone and welcome to Highly Successful You. Today we're going to talk about how to stop overthinking everything. Being told to stop overthinking isn't quite so simple. While it can cause physical, psychological, and emotional symptoms, and we all know we shouldn't do it, and yet we can't simply just stop. Employing these mindful practices should help you recognize your own patterns of overthinking and remind yourself that you shouldn't be doing it in the first place. With the proper coping techniques and plenty of practice in mindfulness, you can learn how best to give your mind a break. So, let's get into it. Number 1. Challenge your thoughts. When you feel yourself getting carried away with your own negative thoughts, try challenging them with an opposite one. If you're worried that calling in sick will get you fired, try thinking to yourself that it won't. If you believe that forgetting a deadline will ruin the whole project, try thinking about a circumstance where everything will be fine. Your emotions will endlessly interfere with your ability to look at things objectively, which means you won't always see the whole picture. Take a generous step back and look at the evidence in front of you. Why do you think these bad things will happen, and what is the proof of that? Often, the proof won't exist, and you're just left with feelings of worry instead. Since those aren't tangible, it might help you get the perspective you need to think more clearly. Number 2. Keep the focus on problem solving. If you find yourself focusing on the problem more than the solution, then you're not going to get anywhere with it. You can think about the problem, but make sure you're doing it in a productive way, rather than just dwelling or worrying. The time you should be spending figuring out the solution rather than worrying about it. Spend the time you have focusing on actionable solutions that will help you solve the problem so you don't get stuck on the negative cycle of overthinking. Number 3. Try assuming good intent. Overthinkers are prone to reading too much into something and assuming something terrible lies underneath. The idea of being perceived negatively, assuming others wish ill of you, and an unfavorable outcome are all things that might burden an overthinker. If you catch yourself doing this, try switching your assumption into assuming it was well-intended or at least neutral. Remember that other people really don't think about the same things you do, as we're all our own source of anxiety. Most of the time this is true, so why not try acting like it? Number 4. Do something spontaneous. Of course, do this with some restraint, but spontaneity is a fantastic way to break out of your rut and clear your head. If you're too stuck in your routines, you may not think there are opportunities to be spontaneous because of the current restraint. The trick here is knowing that spontaneity doesn't have to be some life-changing decision or inane snap choice. It can be something as simple as watching a new TV show or signing up for a class on a whim. The point here is to place yourself just slightly out of your comfort zone, enough to experience different ways of thinking, which can help you fight against overthinking. Number 5. Change the channel. Telling yourself to just stop thinking about something will definitely backfire on you. The more you try to prevent a specific thought from entering your mind, the more likely it will keep popping up. Try changing the channel in your brain by changing your activity. Instead, focus on something you can handle at the moment, just long enough to give yourself a break from the thing that's troubling you. Doing something different can help your brain work out the abstract problems in a new, unique way, but it can also just give you a break. Number 6. Accept your best. The fear that grounds overthinking is usually based on some sort of self-paralyzing feeling that you aren't good enough. Not a good friend, not a good worker, not smart enough, not dedicated enough, or whatever it is that's causing your anxiety. For those who crave perfection, learning to take a step back and stop that line of thinking can be massively helpful. Ambition is great, but perfection is unrealistic, impractical, and the drive to achieve it can be debilitating. Once you know you've given a situation your best, you need to learn how to accept it as such and stop expecting perfection from yourself. This will allow your mind to fixate on the mistakes you might make and simply do the thing in the first place. Number 7. Put things into perspective. It's always to make things seem bigger and more negative than they really are. Next time you catch yourself making a massive production out of nothing, ask yourself how much these problems really matter. It may feel like the most important thing to deal with, but will it matter next month? What is the most likely outcome? Sometimes just asking yourself simple questions like this can change how you think about things and make the problems you're facing feel more manageable and less apocalyptic. Number 8. Use a timer. Give yourself boundaries to work within. Try setting a timer for just 5 or 10 minutes and give yourself that time to worry, think, and analyze. Once your timer goes off, spend a few minutes with a pen and paper, write down the things stressing you out or giving you anxiety, and don't hold back. You don't need to write out solutions or decide how you plan to handle it yet. Just work through the issues. After your next timer is up, get rid of the paper and move on. Give your mind a break and feel the freedom this technique can provide. Number 9. Distract yourself into happiness. Sometimes it's helpful to have some way of distracting yourself with positive, happy, and healthy alternatives. Things like dancing, exercise, hobbies, or meditation can distance you just enough from your problems that it can help you shut down your mind's overanalysis. Distracting yourself can help you spend less time in your head and help you live in the moment. Simply taking care of yourself and maybe going the extra mile to make things comfortable could be the trick to making it all feel better. Number 10. Embrace the uncertainty. Uncertainty can be a good thing. No one knows how things will go and nobody can predict the future. You need to observe certainty but not overreact to it. Many of us feel unbalanced at the concept of not having a detailed step-by-step plan, but learning to be adaptable and go wherever the wind goes can alleviate the stress around this. Acknowledge the presence of uncertainty and accept impermanence as an inevitable part of life. And once you do that, realize that uncertainty can bring you benefits like unleashing creativity or resilience. If you really need to, try making a list of tangible things. Things that will happen rather than just possibilities. In the end, just remind yourself that it's okay not to know what comes next, because nobody else does either. Overthinking is something that happens to just about everyone. We may not all have the same anxieties, but we all have our own set of issues to work through. Allow yourself to feel these overwhelming and sometimes impossible seeming feelings, because avoiding them altogether isn't healthy either. However, sometimes it's better to focus on things you can control and assess when you have a slightly clearer outlook. Overthinking, in the end, can make even a would-be fun experience excruciating. In the end, you may find that you aren't even enjoying the time you spend doing the thing. If you have a good system for dealing with your overthinking, then suddenly these issues won't seem so unmanageable for you at the moment. That brings us to the end of today's video. Are there any thoughts you'd like to share? Drop it down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from us again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.